You think your dog is just staring at you. But what if that look isn't random at all? What if, in that quiet moment, your dog is actually trying to tell you something and you've been missing it this whole time? Because the truth is, when your dog locks eyes with you like that, it's not just a look, it's communication. And depending on how they stare, it could mean something deeper than love, or something you really shouldn't ignore. Most people believe when a dog stares, it's just affection, a simple "I love you." And sometimes, that's true. But not always, because dogs don't use words, they use behavior. Microsignals, energy, and eye contact is one of the strongest signals they have. In fact, studies on dog behavior show that when dogs gaze at their owners, both the dog and the human release oxytocin, the same hormone responsible for bonding between a mother and child. So yes, sometimes that stare is pure love. But here's where it gets interesting, because not all stares are the same, and the difference between a loving gaze and a warning signal is something most owners completely miss. Have you ever noticed your dog staring at you without blinking? Still, focused, almost intense. That's not the same as a soft, relaxed gaze. That could be tension, and if you ignore it, it can escalate. But before we get there, there's something even more surprising. Sometimes your dog stares at you, not because of what you're doing, but because of what you're feeling. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to human emotions. Your tone, your body language, even your silence. They read you better than you think. So when you're anxious, stressed, or even sad, your dog may stare at you longer. Not out of confusion, but out of concern. They're trying to understand you, trying to connect, and in their own way, trying to help. But what it means when your dog suddenly stops making eye contact with you, that's something most people don't even notice, and it can say a lot more than staring ever could, because when a dog avoids your gaze completely, it can mean discomfort, or fear, or even a breakdown in trust. Now think about that for a second. It's not just about when they look at you, it's about when they don't. And that's where things start to get deeper, because your dog's stare isn't just a reaction, it's a reflection of your relationship. If your dog looks at you with soft eyes, relaxed body, maybe even a slight tail wag, that's trust, that's safety, that's emotional connection. But if the stare is stiff, intense, paired with a frozen posture, that's not affection, that's communication of stress. And here's the part most owners never realize. Sometimes your dog is staring at you because they're waiting for direction, waiting for reassurance, waiting for you to lead. Dogs are wired to look for guidance from their human, so when they pause and stare, they're often asking a silent question. What should I do? And how you respond in that moment shapes their behavior more than you think. But there's one type of stare that changes everything, the kind that happens when your dog looks at you, slowly blinks, and relaxes their face. That's not just trust, that's emotional safety. That's your dog feeling completely at peace with you. And moments like that, they're rare, they're quiet, but they're powerful. If this is changing the way you see your dog, take a second to like the video and subscribe. Because once you start understanding these signals, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. Now here's something even deeper. Your dog doesn't just stare to communicate with you, they stare to connect to you. There's a difference. Communication is about sending a message. Connection is about sharing a moment. And when your dog looks at you with no demand, no tension, no expectation, just presence, that's connection. That's your dog choosing you in that moment. But what happens when that connection starts to fade? When the stares become less frequent, shorter, distracted? That is not random. That's feedback. It might mean your dog is feeling less engaged, less stimulated, or even slightly disconnected. And the scary part? It happens slowly. So slowly. Most people don't notice until it's already there. But here's the good news. You can rebuild that connection through attention, through calm energy, through simply being present with your dog, without distractions. Because at the end of the day, your dog isn't just watching you. They're reading you, feeling you, understanding you in ways words never could. So the next time your dog stares at you, don't just smile and move on. Pause. Look back. Notice the details. Because in that silent moment, your dog might be saying, I trust you, I need you, I feel safe with you, or sometimes, I'm not okay. Your dog isn't just behaving, they're communicating. And once you truly understand what that stare means, you don't just become a better owner. You become someone your dog can truly connect with.